colour event. My name is Fiona, I'm the Taubmans Colour Specialist, and we are here tonight to help you with all of your colour conundrums, if you like. So, for the next half an hour, I will be on screen, we'll be streaming, answering all of your questions, so please use this as an opportunity to put any questions that you may have into our feed. Also, if you're wanting to share some images of, let's say you've got an outdoor area that you're wanting some help with some colours, if you can hold off until I finish streaming, then pop your images into the feed and I'll be able to view them and certainly offer some assistance. Because while I'm on screen, unfortunately, you're unable to upload them. So that kind of concludes the housekeeping, if you like. And for anybody that is new that is joining us tonight, that's how we roll. And we welcome you to our session. So each and every week we cover lots of things. We're certainly here to help you with any colour queries that you may have, any projects that you're embarking on and you're wanting to ask some advice perhaps about what products to use, help with preparation, etc. Certainly pop your queries into the feed. And we also are here to talk about our wonderful portfolio of beautiful products that we have available to protect and beautify your space. We have some fantastic products available, and through tonight's session I'll certainly bring a few to life as we go through. So tonight, as I said, we are focusing on exterior, so we always do a little bit of a sort of a mini little class, if you like, and I'm going to bring to life, like I've been out and about in stores and you can certainly see that spring has sprung. People are out and about getting excited about embarking on some paint projects, which is fantastic to see. And you know, I've had many opportunities in store talking at the colour wall, and I'm lucky enough to be based in Queensland where the weather has just been brilliant all week. It has been absolutely fantastic. And there's certainly a lot of sort of buzz and hype about people getting out, doing painting, etc. So I was at a colour wall in a local area and I came across a lovely family, and they have given me permission to talk about this tonight. And their young son by the name of Toby has been given a cubby house. And you know, we've never talked about cubby houses before, so I thought, you know, this is a great opportunity to bring to life, not only, you know, do we talk about colours for exteriors of homes and interiors of homes, and we talk about how you can or look at finding inspiration from, you know, where the house is situated, etc. But tonight we're going to do a little bit of a class on cubby houses. And so young Toby, he told his mother that he wanted to use red. So she wasn't overly super keen on using red for the whole of the cubby house. And so we talked to Toby and we sort of asked him, what, you know, do you have a favourite toy or do you have a favourite superhero, etc., etc. Anyway, as it turned out, he had a little car with him that was blue in colour, and his mum downloaded the Colorsmith app, took a photo of the car, and from that created Toby's wonderful colour scheme for the exterior of their cubby house. So really, really fantastic. He was super, super excited. And so tonight I'm going to show you, our quick class is going to be on, I'm just looking, I've got a question here. Our quick class is going to be on using an object, and I have a little car here, and I think I have used this once before just to show you what you could do with it, but I didn't go right into depth of it. So tonight, this is the only car that I have in my house. We're going to use this and we're going to take a photo of it, and we're going to show you how you can create a colour scheme from that. So I'll continue on with that, and then Adam, I will come back to your questions. So while I'm in this mode, so what I'm going to do is take you to my iPad, and I'll do that right now. Where are we? We are here. Fantastic. And on screen, you can see me up in the corner there. On screen, there are a couple of QR codes. So if you want to follow me as we go along doing this, I'd encourage you to download the Colorsmith app. So you can just hover your phone, your smartphone or Android over the QR codes with your camera, and it should take you to the platform to download it. So I'll just give you a moment. And then I'll show you what you can do with Colorsmith. So you'll also see on that screen there, right up in the top, there is, you can see an app there called Colorsmith. So once you download, that's the app that will be on your screen. So I'm going to now go to the app, And when you open the app, you're brought up to a screen that looks like this. So you can create from the color library. So the fantastic thing about Colorsmith is it has a whole library of pre-populated colors. So if you're embarking on a color journey and you're not sure where to start, you can go to create from the color library and you can dabble around and play with all the colors that exist in there. You can lessen the intensity, heighten the intensity. You can play with a similar function. And you can also use the combination function to create an entire color palette that is designed to work with the color that you have created. So I am going to hit create from match. And I've already taken a photo, as I said, of this little car. So I'm going to go to my photo library and I'm going to select that. Here we go. So here is the little car. You can see it on my desk. And if you watch, like, you can see where it says Colorsmith and then there's a lighter band that says tap to create color, and then there is a green band. So watch the green band as I move the eye across the different tones on the screen. So you can see how it changes. So I'm going, obviously, picking up different tones within the timber, sort of the silver tone that's on the wheel there, keyboard, and then obviously the car, which is what we're wanting to use, but I just wanted to show you how it works. So now that I have the car here, I'm now going to hit, I quite like that, I'm going to hit select. And so from this you can save your color. So I'll hit save my color. And I will call it, what am I going to call it? Let's call it Cubby House Green, just for tonight's project. Now, so you brought up to a screen that looks like that. So the next thing that you do is, if you're going to take it into your local hardware store, you hit order in store. And what it does is it populates a QR code. So that QR code there contains the recipe or the formula to create that paint color. So, and where it says share, so you can share this, you can share it across all of your social media platforms, you can airdrop, you can text, and you can also email. And if you're wondering where you can have your color created, etc., or made up, you can, in the corner there where it says find stockists, you can hit that and it'll direct you to your closest hardware store. So I'm just going to go back and I'll just hit explore colors here again. So it's given me my Cubby House Green. Now, as you can see on this screen here, this is where I have the ability to lessen the intensity of the color or heighten the intensity. So as you can see there, so I can take it down to say, like, let's say a half strength if you like, or I can take it up to a double strength, etc. So this is where you can play with color. Also similar, if you're not quite happy with the tone, you're looking at it going, you know what, it's perhaps a little bit too blue, I'd like it to be more on the greener side, you can slide along and play with similar, and you can select a hue that looks similar to what you're wanting, and then it'll bring up another band of colors or another band of tones that are very similar to the one that you have selected. So you can continue going through that function forever if you like. But the one that I really love, and this is where you can create an entire palette from, is where it says combinations. So here is where you can have some fun. So if you're creating a cubby house and you're wanting it to be, you know, kid-like, and you wanting it to be bright, fun, etc., this is where you should start. So going along here, I'm just going to slide it across. You can see all of the different tones. So you can do a beautiful, almost Hampton sort of feel with those beautiful greys and blues. I love the green. So you can sort of inject different tones of green. And also you've got pink, etc. And then you've got softer pastel blues. So it brings up a beautiful selection of colours designed to work with the colour. The beauty of Colorsmith is that, you know, you can't go wrong by using Colorsmith when you're creating colours or a colour palette, because I know one of the most frequently asked questions when I'm standing at the colour wall is a consumer will have a colour in their hand and they're like, well, what do I put with this? So using Colorsmith takes away all of the guesswork. So that's how easy it is to create a palette. So now I'm going to show you something that I created earlier on. So I might just come back on screen for a moment, just in case it doesn't direct me to where I want it to go straight away. Okay, so I'll pop you back to my iPad and pop myself up in the corner. So I played around with this earlier on today and I drew up a cubby house. And when I played with the colours, so I took a photo, as you can see, my car's up in the corner there, and I used the photo function option, and then I looked at the colour and I thought, oh, it's not quite what I'd like it to be. So I used the similar function and then sort of went along until I found something that was slightly greener, less blue. So you'll see the colours that I have created here from combinations are slightly different to what I just showed on screen, and that's why. So here I've got just a little concept board, if you like, where you can create your own cubby house colours. And so every single colour that I have displayed along the bottom have come out from the combinations function. So you can see the cubby house green is on the door, and then I've made a cubby house deep teal, which is adorning all of the walls. And then there's a beautiful light grey, which is on the roof. Dark grey, sort of, well, you could almost say gable, but it's not quite, in the gable there. And then also there's a very soft white that has a very soft green undertone that I've used for the trims, and I think that looks fantastic. So, you know, it wouldn't matter whether you have it's a boy or a girl. It's sort of very gender neutral colour scheme, if you like. Again, all of these colours have come straight out of the combinations function. Got some beautiful tones there, like there's a lime, there's a gold, and you can see how I've injected them into this cubby house there. So another fantastic colour palette there. Had a little bit more fun here, used the bright, vibrant blues that were in the combinations function to create that. So that's nice and bright. And then again, using the combinations, but we have used the pink, I've popped pink on the front door, and I think it's a fantastic colour palette. And you can see it here. So I've called it the Cubby House Collection, created compliments of this car. And when I finish streaming at the end of the session, I will pop all of those into the feed for everybody. So I'll come back on screen. Okay, so that just shows you how easy it is to create a colour scheme with Colorsmith. So it takes all of the guesswork out. And the beauty of it as well is that you can name. So if, you know, if I did have Toby's car in front of me, I could call this, you know, Toby's collection and name all of the colours for Toby, being, you know, the child that I was talking with in store. So it's fantastic. You can really have some fun. So now I've got some questions coming through. So, okay, so hi Adam, thank you very much for joining us tonight. So your question is regarding interior colours, Miss Universe architrave doors with half-strength grey gamut on walls for Hamptons look. Thoughts? I think that sounds fantastic. Miss Universe is a fantastic, very clean white that tends to have, so what it has is just a splash of black, which tends to make it quite a cool but bright white, and that's going to work extremely well with your grey gamut on the walls, but half strength. Let me just see if I can find the colour here. So, but I think you're on a winner there. The only suggestion I would recommend, and I always say this when you are working with colour, doesn't matter whether you're using it for an interior or an exterior, the best thing or the best advice that I can give you is to get yourself a sample pot. Get yourself a large piece of cardboard, at least 1 metre by 1 metre square, and brush out 3 coats of the colour that you are considering using. And then for an interior, I would put it right up close near the ceiling, and then also down near the wall, down near the floor. And the reason for using those 2 areas, so think about this. So when you're putting it up near the ceiling, you want to pay particular attention to how the colour is going to look in natural light and also under artificial lighting, because your colour can change quite a bit. So I would certainly look at it up there, but then also down near the floor. And the reason I say down near the floor is because depending on what floor covering you have, your colour can change as well. So if you do have, let's say, for example, wooden floorboards, they can sometimes tend to throw a little bit of warmth onto the colour, if you like, that you have on your walls. So your colour can sometimes become a little bit distorted. It's not the exact word that I would use, but I'm guessing that you're understanding sort of the gist of what I'm saying. So they're the best places to trial your white, and I cannot stipulate enough how important it is to sample pot your whites or your interior colours and your exterior colours first, and that way you're really going to get an understanding of how it's going to work within your environment. And same applies. I know we're talking about exteriors tonight, but if you're looking at using whites, one of the big things is that your whites will dilute in the sun. So you want to use a white that has enough substance, if you like, or enough tint, so that when you've got full sun, etc. on it, you're not going to be blinded by the glare. So that's something to think about, everybody out there. Let me just have a look at Grey Gamut. Got a few more questions here. Okay. Where are we? All right, I might just look at it on my screen. Sorry. It's not good when we're live, is it? And I'm taking my time. I do apologise. Let's see what I can find down here. I might even be able to bring it up on screen for everybody. No, I can't bring that up on screen, sorry. So what I'll do, Adam, is at the end of this session, I will have another look for it and I will confirm with you. But from memory, I do know the colour and I know that it's going to sit extremely well with Miss Universe. So I think you're on a winner there. I think it'll look fantastic. But I will pop some notes into the feed once I finish here. All right, so the next question I have is from Sozi. So, hi, thank you very much for joining us. Hi there, we're building a duplex in Lennox Head, New South Wales. We need help with our external colours. So far we have a colour bond roof. The colour is wind spray. Where to from there? Okay, let's just have a look at wind spray, which is a lovely tone. I guess the question is, how much colour do you want? Are you wanting you're wanting to stick with sort of the grey, sort of blue tones, like wind spray's a beautiful grey that has a slight blue undertone, or are you wanting to go for perhaps a white that's got a soft grey undertone? I guess if you can give me a little bit more information, I can sort of pinpoint some colours for you. And, you know, you can even, because we're going, I guess you could say going towards, the trend seems to be that we're warming up with our, when I say warming up, we're warming up our greys, if you like. And there's a lot, I'm starting to see a lot of warmer Hamptons tones. And by that I mean sort of using more use of grey, so a warmer toned grey as opposed to quite a cool toned grey. So, which I think looks fantastic. Look, I quite like all greys, and you'll hear me if you've heard me talking quite a lot on here before. I'm very partial to a neutral toned grey, a grey that tends to have more of a green undertone because it's very adaptable and it works with many, many other colours and many, many environments. So I'm guessing there's a really lovely colour here, and what I'll do is, so I'll pop it up on screen. I've got so many mouses here. I've got 4 computers and it's a real technical thing happening here. So let me, what have I got? Lunar Rock, which is a beautiful tone. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop my laptop on and pop myself up in the corner. So Soz, you could certainly put wind spray with Lunar Rock, and that's a beautiful tone. It's a beautiful soft grey that has a, you could say a slight, slightly more of a sort of a, it's a warmer undertone. So not as blue, if you like. I'm just looking at it. You could almost classify it as a neutral. And something like that with wind spray, and then even you introducing white could look fabulous. But if you want to just come back with a little bit more information, I can certainly, as I said before, pinpoint it and develop a scheme for you. Alrighty, pop myself back here. What have I got next? Hi Michelle, thank you very much for joining our session. So your question is the best paint type to use for plastered homes that prevent mould setting on. I'm glad you asked because I was going to mention this tonight. So I'm always going to take you to whether you're talking about interior or exterior, as I said before, we have an amazing portfolio of products. But for interior, I would suggest, or I would send you down the track of having a look at Taubmans Endure. It has all of your mold inhibitors in it. It has been endorsed by the Sensitive Choice, so it is safe for anybody that suffers from asthma and allergies. It has what they call NanoGuard technology. So NanoGuard, the best way I can describe it is if you were to put a standard paint film under a microscope, it has, I'm just seeing whether I can draw it, it has a one size paint particle. So just all one size paint particle. And then what happens is with NanoGuard, you've got the one size paint particle, but then you've also got a smaller paint particle that fills the airspace, if you like. It creates what we call an interlocking molecular structure. So what that means is, because of that tight structure, it's very hard for, if you like, for mold to grow. It means that you can literally scrub the surface. When they relaunched Taubmans Endure, it had, they did what they call a scrub test. So they had a piece of, let's say, plasterboard with a mechanical arm and a scrubbing brush, and it went across the painted surface, and it was 1,000 scrubs before the paint started to show signs of wear. So it is an amazing product. I have it through my home. I live in Queensland, and we've had more rain than you can imagine this year. And from my experience of being out and about in stores, every second question that I'm asked is, what do I do, or what do I use to combat mold? I've had no issues with it because of Endure. And the same for exterior. We have a product called All Weather, and I know that I've been talking about exterior tonight. All Weather is a product that I would send you to or send you towards. It has NanoGuard technology, as I was just talking about it for the interior, but it also has it for exterior in All Weather. And what that means is when we're talking about exterior, it becomes dirt shedding technology, if you like. So one of the biggest things, it's not only sun and UV that will damage your painted surface, but it's all the pollutants in the air, dirt, grime, etc. So having them sitting on your painted surface can cause damage. But because as I'm talking about your NanoGuard becoming dirt shedding technology, it's a simple hose down, or a simple, wash down, or a simple great rain, if you like, and the dirt it sheds off the surface, if you like. So ensuring that you're going to have longevity with your painted finish. And that's really, really important. The other thing that I would also recommend is that, Michelle, if you do have mold, find a product that is called Mold Action. I believe it was originally designed for the Singapore market where they have high humidity. Now, from my first experience with it, when I opened it up, I thought, I'd be overwhelmed with fumes similar to bleach or something like that, but there is no smell. It's biodegradable and it works magic. And the way you use it is you put it onto your surface, your painted surface, and you leave it on for 24 hours, and then you come back the next day and you can wipe off the mold, and you'll be surprised. You might think, look, there's no mold there, but spray your surface, and the next day there might be little black spots, because what actually happens is when you see mold, it's the mold spore flowering. And when you wipe over the top of the mold spore, if you like, or you remove the flower, you're not actually killing the spore. But with Mold Action, it actually penetrates in and kills the spore, so ridding mold, if you like, getting rid of the mold. So that's the first thing that you should do. And then, as I've just talked about, using something like Taubmans Endure or Taubmans All Weather. Now, if you're wanting more information, I will just pop myself on here. Oops, I'm in the corner, yep. Okay, so if you go to www.taubmans.com.au, and you'll come to our fantastic website. Now, this is extremely easy to navigate, and depending on whether you're looking for colours, products, where to buy, find a painter, etc., this is your one-stop shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down, so you can, if you hover over where it says products, you can, and the drop down, you can see all of your different categories of paint, or etc., if you like. So we're talking about exterior, so I'll just select that for a moment. And this is the Taubmans All Weather that I was talking about. So this is the product that you want to have a look for. As I said, it's got your NanoGuard technology, it's got all of your mold inhibitors. You can get it in a matte, low sheen, gloss, and a semi-gloss. And then for interior, as I was mentioning before, Taubmans Endure. This is the product that I would recommend. As I said before, it has your NanoGuard technology, bacteria shield, which are your mold inhibitors if you like, and it is the most amazing product. Superior opacity. So when I talk about opacity, I'm talking about the coverage, which is not the spread rate, it's the coverage and its ability to cover over dark colors or bright colors exceptionally well. So that's, have a look, take yourself, as I said, to the Taubmans website, go on the drop down to products and you'll find a world of information about our products. Okay, I will continue on. Okay, hi Christina, thank you very much for joining our session tonight. So would love your top picks for a white, light outside colour to paint our weatherboards. A good white base, not too creamy, not too cool. Okay, Christina, so depending on, okay, so not too creamy, not too cool. The question I would ask you is, what else exists within that colour scheme? So the colour of your roof and your windows, etc., is really important. I like to take that, all of that into consideration when I'm, helping to select a particular white for you. So if you can come back to me with a little bit more information, and then I would love to recommend some whites. We've got some beautiful whites, gazebo white, etc., etc. Gazebo white's a fantastic white. And the other thing that I've talked about this, and I talk about this all the time, but for anybody new that is joining us, one thing to consider when you're looking for whites for your exterior is to have a look at the LRV, which is the light reflectance value of a colour. And when I'm looking at whites, I look at that number to sort of, for me, it gives me an understanding of how the colour is going to work outside, especially in full sun. So if I'm looking at a colour or looking at a white, I usually look around about 65 up to about 80. And if I'm working within the realms of that, I'm generally pretty safe. And so the easiest way to find that is, again, I'll take you back to the laptop very quickly, is again back to the website. And then if we go right down to the bottom where it says order colour swatches, and if we click on that, and here in the search function you can type the name of a colour. So I'll just pop in gazebo white. Let's hope it's come up. Yeah, it has. Perfect. And then if I go view colour details, and down the side here it has all of the information. So the information that I'm talking about is the LRV, the light reflectance value. So it's saying that that's 71. So something like that I know is going to be able to handle full sun. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to sit outside, have a cup of tea and not have to wear your sunglasses. Okay, so... Okay, thank you, Christina. You've come straight back. Fantastic. We have a shale grey roof and white trimmings windows. All right, let's just have a look here. I have a shale grey swatch here, a colour-bond one. Where are we? You can never find it when you want it. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's just have a quick look at some whites. Oh, South Pole could be quite nice. What are we saying? We want something that is not too... Okay, a good white base, not too creamy, not too cool. Okay, South Pole sits quite nicely. I'll pop these into the feed because I think I'm about to run out of time. And then there is another white. Where are we? Straw and grey might be quite nice as well. I've just checked the LRV on that. It might be a little bit too... Oh, Tundra Mist is actually another quite nice white as well. All right, I could sit here all night doing this, but yes, what I will do for you, Christina, is pop them in the feed. There's quite a few here that I am looking at right now, because we have run out of time. So don't go away. I will answer further questions within the feed. So I'm going to conclude tonight's session, and then the rest of the questions that I have up there, I will certainly answer, as I said, in the feed. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining our session tonight. It's always great to have you joining in and have your questions. I really appreciate it. Next week, just to let you know, we are, because of the public holiday due to the Queen's passing, we will not be having a live colour session, but the week after that we will be back. So in the meantime, I hope everybody has a fabulous week. Stay safe, everybody, and happy painting. Thanks very much. Good night.